It's time for the Sport Corner Siam Hockey League news. Wow, what a save by Dream. Corey Day shoots. He scores! Ooh, what a hit by Brad Wilson. This episode of the Sport Corner Siam Hockey League news is brought to you by the Big Chili Magazine, where in this issue there is the last installment of the 10-part series, Journey Through Thailand's Past. This installment covers the years from 2012 to 2017. For a great brief history about Thailand, you should check them out. So we just finished off our 5th week of games. In our first game, we had True facing off against Hertz.
It was a really fun game to watch. And I said before the game in our predictions that I thought True was finally going to be able to pull together. And I think this was their best game that I've seen them play. Had really solid numbers across the board with the shots on goal, had a few breakaways, but they just feel so snake-bitten. I know.
At least they're picking their shots more now. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jordan scored a really good one, but they're making the goaltenders work. They really made them work this game.
They ran into the dream wall. Oh, what a game. 35 saves.
I know. It's just unbelievable.
And, yeah, it was an obvious choice, again, for our player of the game. But, yeah, I mean, True, they had a really great first. I want to remember that it was about 16 shots on goal.
Mm-hmm.
And, they had a reserve play tonight, alternate, Patrick Forsner, who had a really solid game, had a couple breakaways that I remember. Dream stoned him twice. And then, as somebody said, Salty Brine, Andy came in at near the end of the first with a little breakaway and was able to bury it. And right there, it was already 1-0 Hertz.
Yeah. So, and it was just like one of the things that I liked is for True is after Andy scored his goal, starting into the second period, they still stayed strong. They weren't hanging their head. Mm-hmm. They were doing quick line changes. Things were looking really good for them.
And I just felt that they had to be rewarded. I mean, Dream was playing so well that it appeared he might be able to pull off the shutoff. But I thought to myself, keep your game. You guys are doing it right. Keep your game. And finally, as you said earlier, at the third, Jordan was able to score for them. And I was thinking, all right, maybe we get some overtime. Maybe they can maybe they can even score and win the game in regulation. But Mengkorn with a dagger near the end of the game.
Great move. Pulled Lance right out of the net.
Another old adage, skate right, shoot left. It was a nice, hard, low shot. And that ended up being the game winner in a close game, 2-1.
Yeah, and I thought they still had more chances. I mean, it was like True still didn't give up this time.
Sure. Yeah, at the end of the game, they had a brief power play, about 30 seconds to the end of the game, and that you could see that they were flying around. They really thought that they believed in themselves, which was really, really great to see them come together for this game. And as we said, it just came up snake eyes this time.
I know. The puck's got to bounce for him one of these times.
Sure.
It's probably
they hit 3 posts in this game.
I know. It's like unbelievable. It's like, what more can these guys do now? So I think they're going to have a tough one coming up when they have to play the big red juggernaut. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. But, they're really coming together as a team finally. So
it's not reflected in the win total, but you can see them week to week. They've come together. Mm-hmm. They're playing with energy. They're playing with emotion. And it just takes ice time. It takes chemistry. It's easy for us to sit here, and say, they haven't been able to put the chances away, when you face good quality talent. But as we've said, believe in yourself, believe in your system, trust that you guys are going to be at the right spot, and eventually those pucks aren't going to hit the post. They're going to go to the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, our player of the game was Dream. And
Easy choice.
Yeah, unbelievable. 35 out of 36
Some
shots.
Spectacular saves. More than once I was ready to hit the goal lamp and
he was pulling off some moves like Lance normally does. It was unbelievable. And then we had that immaculate save where he missed it, but
reached back. Oh, and Champ. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He had his buddy, defenseman Champ, came in and saved it goal. That might have been a story of the game there.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And then the one where he reached around behind his back to save that one.
Easy choice.
Easy choice. And I did have a chance to talk with him after the game.
I'm here with the Rolling Stone Pizza Player of the Game, Dream. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. This game very tough, but it's so close game. Another team have a good offense, but my team get close together and play a defensive game really well. So it helped me a lot.
And another 30-shot game.
Yeah. I always see the time when it's going to run out.
All right, excellent. Well, congratulations again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And then in our second game of the night, we had Aware, the big red juggernaut, facing off against the Novotel Spitfires.
And this was another really solid game.
Yeah.
It was a lot of action, 11 total goals scored. And early on, it looked like the White Walkers might be able to pull off the upset.
It was close. It was looking like it. I mean, well, the White Walkers turned more into the Corey Day show last night.
Seriously, Corey with a hat trick. He almost had 4 goals scored. He hit a post. Scored early. It was a couple fluke plays. They caught Patrick Leduc out of position. He came way out of the net, and some bad bounces for him. And it looked like Corey had an open net, and the rest of the Aware team back-checking hard. Were coming back to try and get the puck, and two different occasions they knocked the goal off the net.
Oh, yeah, the first one with Juhani, when he knocked it off, and then they still awarded the Spitfires with the goal.
Still got the goal. I think that was appropriate, but... you credit Aware. You credit well.
I don't know if it was appropriate. I think it should have been a penalty shot, but I know the Spitfires will say they deserved the goal. But
and I'm not taking anything away from Aware. I don't think it was malicious. They were just playing hard.
Yeah,
they were just playing hard. And to the referee's credit as well, we don't have instant replay, and we're sitting halfway down the ice at the announcer's box, so we can't even see the play as closely as they can. So I think in all fairness, they did well. Yeah, like you said, the Corey Day show, scored early, scored often.
Yeah. and got a penalty to boot. So
Yeah, he hit up the stat sheet. Almost had what we call
the Gordie Howe
hat trick. That's what I was like, what am I doing? Gordie Howe hat trick. For all you people who don't know, Gordie Howe hat trick is the goal, the assist, and a fight or a penalty.
Did he get an assist this time?
No, not this time. Just a hat trick.
Just a regular old hat trick. Yeah.
And we were actually looking at the stat sheet for the whole league. He is the league leader with 9 goals already.
I know, it's crazy how he's doing. I mean, it's like I'm looking here, and he's got 9 goals, and the next person that's even close to him is Harrison Otsmelt and Jordan Ashton with 5 goals apiece.
So almost double.
Unbelievable. But Corey Day, though, you got to give him credit. He's been fed quite a lot by
his line mates
Michael
are also
White
playing
and Brendan
really
Vick.
well.
Yeah, everybody's doing well. I thought this was a much better game than the first time, but again,
it's the same story.
Again, Gabor let him down this time.
And just like we said in that previous game, is don't take anything away from Aware. They had a good game. They peppered him again. Not quite as many as their normal total. Only a small 27 shots on goal.
Yeah.
But at least 1 or 2 of those looked very savable. And even though the final score says 7-4, it was a very close game. They padded their stats there with a late power play and an empty netter to pull away. But it just felt like every time that the Spitfires were able to score, Aware was just right back at it. They were able to tie the game quickly twice and then take the lead. Man, their blue line, what another ridiculous game.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've got Roman Laird, you've got Patrick Lumbach, you've got Christian Olofsson, you've got Callie.
And Juhani, our player of the game.
Yeah, Juhani, the player of the game. It's just... They've got the most stacked defensive lines that any of the 4 teams have.
And they're just so balanced. They move the puck ahead. They can score.
Yep.
They play solid defense. Same story that we talked about a couple weeks ago, just not a lot of second and third chance opportunities. They pounce on the puck, and they move it forward, and they get it out.
They do, absolutely. And again, not taking anything away from Gabor. It's just he had a few soft goals, but it's tough out there playing against Aware. I mean, we can see that sitting on the sidelines.
You can't relax.
No, they're always on, always on. It was like, I don't know if Patrick organized a few practices before the league started, but man,
every game they just seem to be a step ahead of the competition.
Yeah. So and now they're 5-0. So I think they're shooting for their own record here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You never know. Everybody has a bad game one night, so we'll see what happens. And that's one thing that as a fan I love about hockey, is that on any given night, the best team in a league can lose to the worst team in a league.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens next week. Maybe True can pull off the upset. We'll talk about that in a moment. The stat sheet.
What about that goal by Christian?
Oh, my God. High riser.
Come walking in from the point. Nobody touched him. Lets one rip. Goal. Unbelievable.
It just felt like every few minutes you just turned and you hear the horn.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking at the stat sheet here with their D-line. Roman, a goal and an assist. Juhani, our player of the game, 2 goals.
2 goals and a penalty.
Yeah, another 2 goal and a penalty. The captain, Patrick Lembach, with an assist. It's just Christian, as we mentioned with the goal, like just so deep, just such a deep core.
Yeah, it's tough for anybody playing against them, but they're going to get tired. Do you know what I mean? So, and we've got they've got a game coming up with True, but like you said, we'll talk about that here a little bit. And you had a chance to interview the player of the game?
Yeah, Juhani, really solid game, couple of goals, and it was a good interview after the game.
I'm here with the Rolling Stone Pizza player of the game, defenseman Juhani Ijas. 2 goals tonight. Great game.
Today forward. That's why I got some goals. Our Swedish Viking decided to put me on forwards, and I deliver.
Yeah, you had a really great game. It was really back and forth tonight. A lot of goals, 7-4 final score. How'd you guys keep with it?
Opponent have a really good defense. There's guys who can really rush the puck. We have a Ken, who's phenomenal defender, who can be really support that team's offense also. So a lot of skating. That was I think the best game of this year for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then we've got a quick turnaround this week. So our game is on Sunday night, November 18th. In our first game, we have True facing off against Aware. True's really come together. They're really starting to look more like a team, especially this last game. They've looked better than they've looked all season. What do you think?
You never know. And before this game, I thought this might be it. This week's game against Hertz, I thought this might be it. Sadly, I'm not going to be there. I have to go a quick turnaround. But I'm going to be curious to see the stat sheet, and we'll see what happens. I think that this is a kind of trap game maybe for an Aware.
Yeah.
They had a solid, really back-and-forth game against the Spitfires this week. Were able to persevere and just light up the lamp and come through in the end. This is what we call a trap game, right? Maybe they think, we've got the top versus the bottom team in the league. Maybe they let off the gas and True surprises them.
Yeah, well, I think that's what hopefully won't happen, but this is what happened last year. They played the worst team in the league, and they kind of like coasted, and they played really flat, and Aware needs to not do that this time, especially playing against True as they're coming together as a team.
So we'll see what happens. I pull for the underdog. I'd like to see True pull it off. I'll be excited to look at the stat line afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in our second game of the night, we have the Novotel Spitfires facing off against Hertz.
Can Dream do it 3 games in a row?
Well, he did it last year. He did it last year, but I mean, you've got Gabor. I think is going to still be in the net because Eve's still out with a broken toe. So. This is one of the things about Gabor. He'll have a bad game, and he'll come back, and he'll be so solid. It's like he's beat himself up all week or in the time between games, and he's going to come back, and he's going to be just a wall between the pipes.
Yeah, he had a really solid game a week ago that we mentioned, and we were commenting how True just seemed to hit him in the chest, and as you rightly said, that was because Gabor was tracking the puck, you know, and he was putting himself in good position. Every now and then you have a rough game. So like you said, I think he's going to have a chance to stew, think about it, and hopefully come back strong. It's going to be tough, though, against the White Walkers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's White Walkers, Corey Day, Michael White, Brendan Vick.
And that blue line. We've talked so much about the Aware blue line. Man, the guys in white on the back, on the blue line there, it's really special to watch. I shouldn't say guys. Also, Carly Hill, solid player as well. Yeah. But their blue line is just so fun to watch them play. They move the puck really well. Ken Kinborn always seems to show up on the score sheet.
Yeah, Ken,
Carly, as we mentioned.
Carly,
obviously
Brad.
the captain, Brad Wilson. And then for me, the all-flow team, Matt Johnson, always seems to have really good pace to his game, really quick. He's able to move the puck up forward well. And, they play really well together as well. It's fun to watch them.
Yeah, and I think if they can keep their head about them and don't take too many stupid penalties, it should be a really good game for both teams.
I'm excited to watch. And then Hertz always they're really good at burying their chances.
Yeah.
They're very opportunistic. As we said earlier, Salty Brian always seems like he's going to have a chance to score.
Yeah.
Their tie players are also really, really solid, especially their back core. Yeen, Champ, and then up front, Menkorn, like we mentioned in this game, had a really good skate and play goal there to score the winner at the end.
As long as he stays away from the toe drag, he'll do really well.
Yeah, you want goal scorers to have some confidence, but also a little dash of humility as well. But it should be a fun night of hockey, and I'm unfortunately not going to be there, but I'll be excited to hear about it afterwards.
All right. Well, that's all for this week. We'll see you at the rink.
The opposite was very strong. I was good.
The Sport Corner Siam Hockey League News is brought to you by Big Chili Magazine, the best read expat lifestyle and news magazine in Thailand. It covers interesting issues in Bangkok and the region while bringing its readers engaging stories and various exclusive interviews, food reviews, and more. You can find the Big Chili Magazine in bookstores and online at thebigchili.com.